What if we told you that in 2025 citizens from 10 Asian countries will be able to fly into the United States with no visa at all? Yes, you heard that right. No interviews, no embassies, no lengthy applications, just book a flight and enter the land of opportunity like it's a weekend getaway. And here's the kicker, some of these countries are seen as geopolitical rivals, while others have had troubled histories with America. So, why is the US making this bold move now? What's the real story behind this game-changing visa policy? This is not just a travel update. This is about diplomacy, immigration, and the changing power balance in global politics. And trust me, number 4 on this list will absolutely shock you. Stick with us as we uncover the 10 Asian countries the US will not require a visa from in 2025, and why it's causing a stir in Washington, Beijing, and beyond. Before we jump in, if you love mind-blowing global news, real-world analysis, and the stories the mainstream media won't tell you, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and smash that like button so we can keep bringing you powerful content every week. To understand this list, we need to start with the big picture. The US has traditionally had one of the strictest visa policies in the world, especially for Asian travelers. Countries like India, China, and Vietnam often face months-long waits just to get an interview at the consulate. But post-2020, everything changed. The global pandemic shattered tourism, and America's soft power started fading. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and even Thailand began tightening their own visa rules for US citizens in retaliation. So, what did the Biden administration decide to do in 2025? Flip the script. By opening borders to select Asian nations, the US aims to boost its economy, attract investment, and win diplomatic favor, all while keeping competitors like China and Russia guessing. Let's break it down, and wait until we get to number 7, because that move might just start a global visa war.
Kicking off our list is the city-state powerhouse of Singapore, and honestly, this one makes sense.
Singapore has long been a close ally of the United States. It's wealthy, stable, and has one of the most powerful passports in the world. In 2025, the US finally decided, it's time to ditch the bureaucracy. Singaporeans will now enjoy visa-free entry for up to 90 days, no questions asked. Critics argue that this opens the door for elite migration, where the rich get even more mobility while other nations remain stuck in red tape. But the US government says it's simple. Singaporeans don't overstay, they bring money and they build tech bridges. It's a win-win. Or is it? Do you think it's fair to prioritize rich countries for visa waivers? Tell us in the comments below.
Now here's where things get spicy.
Malaysia, a Muslim-majority nation with a complex history of immigration challenges, was added to the visa-free list. And not everyone's happy about it. Conservatives in the US are furious, claiming it's a security risk. But the State Department says otherwise. Their argument? Malaysia has improved border controls, cracked down on illegal migration, and has growing economic ties with Silicon Valley. Plus, Malaysia is key to the US Indo-Pacific strategy, acting as a buffer to China's growing influence. Critics are asking, is this really about tourism, or is it a pawn in the geopolitical chessboard? Is Malaysia's visa-free status a smart strategy or political gamble? Vote now.
This one raised eyebrows. Indonesia, the world's third largest democracy and most populous Muslim country, is now visa-free for US entry.
That's over 275 million people who can now fly to the States without a visa. Supporters hail this as a genius move. Indonesia is a growing tech hub, an emerging economy, and a strategic partner in Southeast Asia. But immigration hawks say this could overwhelm American immigration systems, with fears of overstays and job competition. Let's not forget, Indonesia has a massive diaspora already in the US, and some believe this move is aimed at winning votes ahead of the 2026 midterms. Would you support visa-free travel for a country this big? Let us know why or why not in the comments.
Number 7 is emotional. It's powerful. It's the Philippines, a nation with a deep, complicated love affair with America.
After decades of visa denials and rejections, the US has decided, no more. Starting mid-2025, Filipino citizens will be allowed visa-free entry for up to 60 days, marking a radical shift in US immigration policy. Why now? 2 words, diaspora politics. There are over 4 million Filipinos in the US, contributing to healthcare, education, and tech. Politicians realized keeping families apart doesn't win elections. Some call this a victory for justice, others see it as blatant electioneering. If you're Filipino or have Filipino friends, how does this change affect you? Comment below and let's talk. If there's one name on this list that's guaranteed to provoke a global reaction, It's Taiwan. In 2025, the US announced that citizens of Taiwan will be granted visa-free travel privileges, a move being celebrated in Taiwan and condemned in Beijing. Now here's the kicker. The US doesn't officially recognize Taiwan as a sovereign country, yet they're allowing its citizens in without a visa, bypassing even countries with formal diplomatic ties. Beijing called it direct provocation. China's foreign ministry accused the US of escalating separatism. But in DC, it's a calculated risk. The US is showing the world where it stands, without formally saying it. It's diplomacy through travel policy. Is this a bold step toward supporting democracy or a dangerous move toward confrontation? Type bold or dangerous in the comments. Thailand's inclusion might seem like a no-brainer. Americans love Thailand, but now, the love goes both ways. In 2025, Thailand officially joins the US visa waiver program, meaning Thais can enter the US for tourism or business without applying for a visa. Why did this take so long? It wasn't about crime or politics, it was about data sharing and biometrics. Once Thailand upgraded its security systems, the doors swung open. And this isn't just for fun. The US sees Thailand as a tourism and medical hub. Welcoming its citizens will spur spending, investment, and soft diplomacy. But critics say this will widen the class divide, making it easier for affluent Thais to migrate or invest, while poorer Southeast Asians are still blocked. Have you ever been to Thailand or met Thai travelers in the US? Share your experience below. Okay, here's one you probably didn't see coming: Kazakhstan, a landlocked Central Asian country often overlooked in Western media. Yet in 2025, Kazakhstanis will be able to visit the United States visa-free for 30 days. Why? 2 words: energy and China. Kazakhstan is resource-rich, strategically located, and quietly drifting away from Moscow's orbit. The US wants to court it hard, before China tightens its grip. But the backlash was immediate. Some US senators called it a blindfolded leap into a gray zone state, citing corruption and human rights issues. Supporters say it's a genius move. Detractors say it's reckless. Was this move brilliant strategy or political desperation? Drop your thoughts below. We read every comment. What a time to be alive. The country that once fought a brutal war with the United States is now being invited in without a visa. Vietnam, once a Cold War battleground, has emerged as a manufacturing giant, a tourism magnet, and, surprisingly, a quiet ally of the West. US businesses are pulling factories out of China and moving them into Vietnam, and Washington wants to lock in that relationship. By offering visa-free travel, the US is saying, "We're done with the past, let's do business." But some veterans groups are uneasy. One Vietnam War survivor told us, "I never thought I'd see the day when Vietnamese tourists are welcomed before Afghan allies." Ouch! If you're a history buff, what does this say about how fast global relationships can change? Drop a if this blew your mind. South Korea isn't just a US ally, it's a tech partner, cultural influencer, and military brother-in-arms. And while Koreans already had relatively easy access to the US, 2025 removes all barriers visa-free travel for up to 180 days, one of the longest periods offered to any Asian nation. Why so generous? Because the US wants to keep Korea closer than ever, especially as North Korea stirs up the peninsula and China expands its digital influence. Samsung, Hyundai, and the global K-wave are also part of the equation. The US isn't just investing in Korea, it's betting on it. But immigration watchdogs worry that such long visa-free stays might open up abuse, especially in major cities like LA or New York where Korean communities are booming. Is a 6-month visa-free stay too long, type too much, or just right below? And finally, the least controversial, most expected name on this list, Japan. Already one of America's closest allies, Japan was simply waiting for a bureaucratic rubber stamp. Now in 2025, Japanese citizens can stay in the US for up to 6 months without a visa, no questions asked. This isn't about politics, it's about mutual trust, tourism, and economic alignment. Japan and the US have already shared military tech, joint ventures, and cultural dominance. Still, there's one controversial detail. Japan is the only Asian country on the list where visa-free status includes dual citizens and naturalized expats. That's angered other nations, especially South Korea and China, who see it as preferential treatment. Does Japan deserve this level of trust? or is the US playing favorites, type deserved, or bias in the chat? Let's be real. This list isn't about convenience. It's about control, influence, and future wars without bullets. Visa policies are the new battleground. They tell us who is in with America and who is on the outside. So ask yourself, if your country isn't on this list, what message is the US sending you? And what happens when a major rival, say India or Pakistan, gets added next? Who do you think should be on the next visa-free list? Type the country name below and tell us why. If you made it this far, you already know. This isn't your average YouTube channel. We cover the global truths they don't want you to hear, so smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. It's controversial, it's hidden, and it's gonna get heated, so stick around. The future of travel is changing, and you deserve to know what's coming.